What? I haven't even put in coins yet. Leave me alone.
No, Steven.
Quit betraying me. I just like sitting here and get away. Look. That's blue. Look. I got freaking lucky.
Come here, go past you, Steven.
You got freaking lucky.
What, Steven?
You got freaking lucky.
No, you just flat out got beat. Steven, no. That's what I thought.
Shut up. Got freaking lucky.
What, Steven?
Quit betraying me.
What, Steven?
Got freaking lucky.
Oh my God.